I'm Megan. Thanks for being here with me. It's a cold, frosty morning in West Cork, Ireland, and we just had the cold moon, the full moon. So I'm feeling this need to move like the moon itself, always changing shape, but understanding that we're moving towards the darkest day, the solstice. So I'm calling this one circling towards the solstice. Come to a standing position with me and just rock back and forth for a moment, acknowledging the weight of your body, the steadiness of your legs. And it'll be a slow flow class. And then pause and be still just for a moment. Take your hands to your heart center. And how do you recognize and accommodate the circles of life, whether it be just this year coming to an end, and is it an end for you or is it a new beginning? And also recognizing in those circles that there will be familiar, those things that are familiar, and how do we respond to the familiar? Is it something you want to keep working at or something where we should let go of? And how do we react or respond to what's new within that circle? All those transitions that we've experienced throughout this year, and knowing that in the year coming forward, after we hit our darkest day, we'll start another circle. And then we'll begin our movement. Take your hands down to your sides and just begin to shift weight back and forth a little bit more. And as you do so, bend your knees. Just bend one knee and the other like you're walking in place. And then let your arms just flow back and forth, kind of circling around your body. Just standing and feeling. Make some nice rotations with your torso, let your head move. You can vary the distance between your feet. And then maybe you even want to lift your leg up as you're circling your arms. Take your hip across. Just getting into your body here. And then we'll take our arms down. Feel your ankles and imagine making circles from your ankles. So you can go from the big toe side of the foot, the arch of the foot to the little toe side, just circling the ankles. Knees have to follow, hips have to follow. And then pause and move from your knees. Not your ankles, but see if you can roll circles from your knees. You can go both directions. Be playful. Circle the knees around. Pause, come into your hips. Make some circles with your hips. If it's helpful, you can place your hands there to feel. Take the pelvis around. Again, invite yourself to go in both directions. Notice how the feet respond and the knees, everything below responds and everything above to the circles. And we'll pause. Get a little bit stickier area perhaps, but think of your rib cage and your mid-waist and try to isolate the movement to start moving from your mid-waist. So if you want, you can place your hands there again. Moving from the midwaist. I used to be in the Midwest. Now I'm in my mid-waist, making those circles. You can go the other direction. You can move from your heart. What does it feel like to move from your heart or your liver or your spleen? Invite your organs to circle around. And then come into your shoulders. And let your shoulders circle. And we start with the shoulder girdle, but maybe there's this second circular motion of the shoulders themselves. And always just noticing the way your body's balancing you, your proprioceptive facilities are taking care of you. And then very gently, no bobbleheads, but just let your head come around a little bit. Coming forward to one shoulder, back, and the other shoulder. You could switch the direction of the circles. Really easy. And last but not least, land at your center point. Feel the sturdiness of your body below you. And just take your eyes around. Take your gaze all the way around, eyes wide open. Going all the way around. What is there to see in your room? Go the opposite direction, all the way around. And last circle. After that last circle, look straight ahead. Just look ahead for a moment, then softly close your eyes. You're going to rub the heels of your hands together, create some heat. I need that heat today. It's cold here. Once you feel a little bit of heat in the heels of your hands, close your eyes. Let your head fall into the heels of the hands so the weight of the head's fully supported. And just a light bit of pressure, the heels of the hands into the eyelids. Be in the dark. Be in the dark for a moment. To me, the circle is about transition and continuation. What does it mean to you, the sacred circle? And slowly lift your head up or press your head up with your arms. Let the light back in. Let's begin to move again. So keep your knees soft, maybe a wider stance. As you breathe in, reach up to the left. As you breathe out, come down to the right. Breathing up to the left and down to the right. Reach for the sky. Touch the earth. And then let's switch directions, and you can always vary your foot position too. You can go legs wider or closer together. Whole torso, whole body, legs, arms, all going around. Exhale, just fall. You can let your knuckles drag back down. One more time up. And pause this time, expand. Take a few breaths in your fullness of your front body to your heart. And exhale, release that. We'll take the feet a little bit wider and turn the toes out. And first, just start by shifting your weight from left to right. I'm starting to warm up. It's really cold in here today, so you can see I'm layered up for you. Going back and forth. Hopefully you're warming up too. And then once you've got your legs in a position that feels comfortable, take your hands to your heart center. Breathe in, hug your inner thighs, lift up, press your hands up, reach up again. As you breathe out, take your hands down through either side, creating that circle, and sit down through your legs. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, pull it all down to the earth. So I like to think this one is more of a waste patrol. What is it that you're grabbing and getting rid of? Throw it down. Inhale up. Purging down. Reaching up. And purging down. And then just switch it. Now gather what you want. Inhale, reach up. Bring it up, send it out there into manifest land. Exhale, hands through the heart center. Inhale, lift up. And exhale, bring it into your heart. Bring it up. Gather it, recognize it, be grateful. Exhale, bring it through your brow and your heart. Whatever it is that you want for this next year. Thinking of something positive. One more time up. And exhale. Hands to the heart, just pause for a moment to feel what we're ready to give up. And whatever we give up, we make room for whatever it is that we want. What's in your heart? Last breath out. Breathe in, reach up. Arms and hands, open the heart, open the front body again. Exhale, release. We're going to turn towards the front of our mat. Step to the front. Hook your thumbs together. Breathe in and reach up. As you breathe out, circle your hands down to the sides and come into a fold. Please feel free to bend your knees. We're going to do that again. Hook your thumbs. Breathe in, reach up. So we come into a back bend. Breathe out, hands down to the sides. You can bend your knees. May or may not touch the floor. And continue. Hook the thumbs, reach up. Extend the front body as you breathe out. Feel the back body stretch. Front body compresses. Reaching up one more time. And this time we're going to exhale and settle into that forward fold. You can keep the knees as bent as you want. You could take your hands to your thighs. Use blocks if you like. See if you can let your upper body dangle. Just a few breaths there. And then bend your knees all the way to come down to all fours. Take your knees, I'll turn this way too. Take your knees together so the inner knees are touching. And then make some circles with your hips. Come all the way around. So knees together and circle around. Your hands can be in front of you as you come forward. You might feel a little bit of a plank position. Feel your core muscles. Kick the hips out to one side, tail back, tail to the other side. Again, be playful. Let your upper body respond. And you're going at a pace that's suitable and soothing for you. You can switch the direction. Your neck wants to play. Closer to the ground now, more support. Take one more circle and then press it back into your child's pose. Close yourself up in that cave. You're welcome to use your arms for support underneath your head. Be still. Just in this short amount of time with me, notice what you've accomplished. Is your heart beating faster? Is your skin warmer? Being present to feel. And breathe into your backside, the backs of the lungs. Acknowledge your kidneys, the life force. And then we're going to come back up to all fours again. If there's any issue with you being on your hands, you can also do this on forearms or make a fist. But we're going to press into the ground. Draw the navel center up, lift just the left leg, and begin to make circles with the left leg. So you can come all the way out to the side, come forward towards the elbow, cross the midline of the body, and back up. As you come forward, you'll need to keep the knee bent, but if you go back and you want to extend and lift and feel hamstrings and glutes, that's up to you. Let your arms support you. Finding that full hip mobility, knee moving perhaps, ankle. And you can switch the direction of the circles, just grazing your elbow. Notice how strong your core is supporting you. We always have that center of support. And next time we'll take the foot back, press through the heel just for a moment. We're going to come into spinal balance, but get that leg engaged by pushing into the ground, then lift it up. You can take the weight in the left hand, just come onto the right fingers, or if it's there, reach through your right hand as well. Take a few breaths of stillness and spinal balance. Crown of the head reaching forward, tail reaching back. One more breath in. Breathe out, take it down. We'll come off of our hands just for a moment onto your knees. Keep your toes tucked if you'd like for a little more support. Take your hands to your low back and your sacrum. And inhale, stretch the front body. And exhale, come down towards your child's pose. Your head may or may not touch the ground. Inhale, come up. And exhale down. So feel the movement first from your torso. And if it feels comfortable and safe, then add your arms, inhaling up. And exhale, hands through the heart center as you come down. Reaching up. Feel the movement through your thighs. Exhaling, your hips go into flexion. We become small. Inhaling, explode. Feel that spaciousness in your front body. Exhale, bring it all through your brow and your heart. One more round of movement. And then we'll settle, and you can decide. Hands can stay at your low back for more support here. Hug your thighs together. If it's there, you can reach back for your heels. That's why you're going to stay on your toes. Take a few breaths, letting your front body open. So remember, always the option to be here, more support. And breathe out. Take it down back to all fours. So finding all fours, we're going to play with that right leg this time. Push the ground away from you. Strengthen the legs or in the arms, and then keep that left knee right under your left hip. Reach up the right leg and bring it around. Might want to go really slow on that first one. Just finding your range of motion. Acknowledging the muscles that are helping you to make these circles in your hip, your knee moving. The stability of your core. Try going the other direction. Cross the midline. You can try to touch your elbows, lift it way up to the side. And then setting that right foot down. Lengthen it, press through the ball of the foot so you feel the leg engaged. Pause there for a moment, and maybe it just lifts a little bit off the ground. Draw the navel center up so your core is engaged. Left fingertips or reaching through the left hand. Pausing in spinal balance. How do you find your balance? Hand back down, knee back down. We're going to widen the knees apart this time. Big toes together. And then make those circles again. Through the hips. And maybe you find your torso wants to move and your head. You can just sort of slither your way forward and back. Maybe a half circle is more suitable for you today, switching the direction. We're going to sit back into this wide leg child's pose, big toes together, so we acknowledge this time of year, right? This heaviness and this darkness. Taking it back, we'll give you an opportunity to stretch your arms a little bit more, so sit back, palms together, reach the elbows forward, slide them forward. Brow to the floor, and then if it's there for you, bend your elbows and touch the thumbs towards the back of the neck. Just keep allowing your shins and your elbows sink into the earth. You might feel space around your heart, under your arms, your back. What's supportive and what's spacious? Release the hands back down, come up. We're going to come into a Z-sit position. So right knee to the right heel to the front of the left knee. So your right knee's falling out to the side. And we're going to make some circles here. Right hand's going to come to the ground. Your left hand is going to reach up and then all the way to the right. And reach up and all the way to the right. So I've got my right hand down to find the movement and support me. But if you want a little more core work today, lift that right hand up. Might feel awkward at first. But let your core stop you from crashing. Reaching all the way, a little rotation. Let your head follow. You can, of course, switch the direction. Look back towards your left foot. Still the reaching up on the inhale and the down on the exhale. So if you've had that right hand up, take it back down. We're going to slide the right hand out. Take the right hand And you can either take it in front of you or use it as a pillow, see what works. And just reach that left hand overhead and come onto your fingertips and stretch out through that whole left side body. Relax there, be still. Your body's supported, right side, and spacious on the left. And it's all a big circle because we'll switch it around the other way. Left side will be supportive, right side will be spacious. Breathe into your left lung. And even in these poses, it's a acknowledgement of what feels the same. Maybe you've done this before. Oh, I always feel this. I always feel that. Maybe there's something new today that's presenting itself to you. Take the left arm back down and come back up. See if you can use your core a little bit there. We're going to switch sides. Actually, before we switch sides, we're going to do a little core in between. Almost forgot, very important. So place your feet on the ground and hug your inner thighs together. If you're falling back, take your hands behind you. We're going to lift the legs and start to make some circles with the legs. So start with the hands behind you. Make sure your core is sustaining this long spine knot. So we don't want to fall into the low back. We're staying long, so the hands here will really help that. If it feels okay, you can take your hands off the ground and just swim those legs around in circles. We're rowing our boat. Draw the thighs in, press them away, switch the direction. Again, hands could be here. A little heat building perhaps. And then see if you can find that boat pose, hands here behind your thighs. Just be still in it for a few breaths. Feel the connection of the bottom of your pelvis to the ground, and from there reach, we say reach to rise. Reach up through the crown of the head, root down through the tail, root, rise, reach. Lovely R words. Challenging. Hands can be here. And take it down. Relax. We're going to come into the Z sit the opposite direction. So left heel to right knee. Take a moment to adjust your hips. Let them be where they need to be. Left hand can come down for support. As you breathe in, reach your right arm. Feel that right side body and rotate to the left. So let your torso and your head follow your hand if you'd like. Find the movement first. That spiral action of the torso. Spirals are my favorite types of circles because there's no beginning really and no end. And then if you want a little bit more for your core, try lifting that left hand up. Not finding it on this side. I have to be very careful, or you're going to see me crash on camera. Maybe a finger down. So interesting when we find these imbalances, these asymmetries in our body. Press your legs into the ground. That'll help to hold you too. And then we'll come down. So place that left hand back down there. You can use your left arm as a pillow or thread it through. Take your right hand overhead to lab petting position and reach through your right side body. Breathe into your right side body. Relax into your left side body. Just acknowledging the floor underneath you, the spaciousness of the right side. One more breath there. And come back to a seated position. We're going to do one more round of the boat pose. the moving boat pose. So you can do the exact same thing we did last time, hands behind your thighs even, and move your legs. If you want a little bit more challenge, whichever side your legs are going to, take your arms the opposite way. So they'll kind of crash into each other. You'll find a rhythm. But add your arms circling to your legs circling. And you can kind of spread it out towards the floor. Go long. That strong, juicy center supporting your arms and legs. You don't have to get stuck in any movement pattern either. It's just rowing your boat. Move it around. You're stirring a large pot with your arms and legs. And then coming to the still point again. Hands can stay back behind you. They can be behind your legs. Draw it in wherever you find your Navasana boat pose. Where do you feel steady and strong? Your breath is supporting you. Nice long inhale, complete exhale. Inhalation is where you're going and the vitality we bring in. The exhalation is that purging, the releasing, and acknowledging the support. Let your hands come back down. We're going to move back into all fours. Pausing for a moment. Inhale and arch your back like you're coming into your cow pose. Exhale, press back. I have cows all around me, and for some reason I forget what they look like. Inhale, come forward into your cow. Exhale, press back. It's just undulating the spine a little bit. Think of the spine circling, the head can follow. Then we're going to add just a little bit onto that. As you inhale and come forward, exhale, push back. Now inhale, come forward, roll your toes under. Exhale, lift your knees and push back. So inhale forward, cow pose. Exhale back towards your child's pose. Inhale forward, tuck your toes under. Exhale, lift your shins and push back. And then come forward again. We'll do one more like that. Exhale back, warming up the feet for a down dog. Inhale forward. Exhale, roll the toes, lift the shins, and see if you can pause this time. Shins are hovering above the ground. You can maybe wiggle your hips a little bit if you want some movement. Make some little circles. Or think of pedaling your knees. Feeling the two sides of your body. Come down for a moment. Come on to your thighs. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, hands back down. We'll get ready for down dog. But know that if you don't want to hold the down dog, you can always let yourself rest. It is that time of year in a child's pose. And all of these can be done modified on your knees. Otherwise, you're going to inhale into your arch. Exhale into your curl. Inhale, come forward. Exhale, roll your toes under. Let your shins hover for a moment. Feel that core strength. Then inhale, lift your tailbone high, knees still bent. Exhale, let your heels sink. So we found our down dog. And if you want to be playful, you can move your hips around. Think about the beginning of class when we were bike pedaling, bending one knee and the other like we were walking in place. Arms stay steady if we're here. So there was the option, we did this here too, right on our knees. You can be doing it on your knees. Moving back and forth and around. You might feel yourself shift forward for more core. And then we'll find the stillness in the down dog or that option of child's pose. Pausing there for 5 breaths. Stable through your arms and your legs. We're going to be lifting the left leg. So if you want more of a resting position, still work. Come back down here. Do your circles here on your knees. Otherwise, from the down dog, lifting left leg
And we're going to do just what we did before. Come forward towards the elbow, across the midline and up, making those circles with your hips. You can let your torso follow. Or you can just do the hip in the circles and stay in your down dog. See what suits you. One more round wherever you are, maybe down. And next time that left leg is forward, bring it forward. You're going to drop down to your back right knee in a low lunge position. Bring both hands to the inside of the left knee. And make those circles. Hips, head, shoulder. It's kind of a oozy movement. Nothing planned, nothing particular. Just play and feel. We're going to take our pause here and we're going to stay low. So getting more into the groundedness of these shorter days. So you can stay on your hands. If you like to use blocks. Forearms could come down. But let yourself settle. Sometimes I stack my fists. It makes a nice little table for the head. No fighting. If you need more support, gently draw the right thigh forward and the left hip back, just to create more stability instead of just going fully into the stretch. Slowly coming out, work your way back up. If you were all the way down, take that left leg back. We're going to come back into our down dog, do that on the other side. Inhale into your arch. Exhale into the curl. Press back. Stretch the back. Inhale, arch again. Exhale, roll your toes under. Lift the shins. Pause there. Feel your core action. Inhale, hips come up high. Exhale, sink your heels. Feel free to make some movements again in your down dog. Or that option is there to stay on all fours or take a child's pose. Just little pulsations within the pose. Then finding your still point. Sense your weight transferring into your left leg. We'll be playing with the right leg. Option to do this from your knee here. Reach the right leg up behind you. Bring it forward across the midline and then back. So creating those circles with your hip. You can keep your torso where it is, more in the down dog position, or bring it forward like you're brushing your elbows and then back up. Moving nice and slow, hovering over the ground. We know this one is a lot of work. Needed to build my own heat today. You can switch the direction too. Take that right leg up, even if you're on your knee, and then bring it forward. Drop to the back left knee. Take a moment there, make sure if your foot lands further back here, just pick it up, bring it forward. Both hands to the inside of the right leg. Make those circles. Ease your way into it. Check to see your knees are wide enough apart, your feet. Your hips move, but your torso responds. Doing these beautiful little lateral bends, arching and curling, going both directions. As you come forward, you can sense the stretch in the front of your left thigh. Pulling back, you might feel the back of your right leg stretching. Just finding that safe space where you're comfortable. You can pause here on your hands. You can begin to come down. Sometimes forearms to blocks are nice. Or all the way down. Support your head. Be still. More support, hug your thighs together. More stretching, fall into the earth. Last few breaths. Press into your hands. Take your right leg next to your left leg. We're going to work our way down onto the ground. We're almost there, right? As you do so, hold the backs of your thighs. Make some circles with the torso, pressing feet into the ground. Just move around, heart forward. You can undulate your spine from this position. And then as you get lower, you'll feel the core muscles. Let yourself lay down whenever you're ready. You'll feel yourself go into your sacrum and the low back. And then the rib cage comes down and you're all done and you're resting completely. Draw your knees into your chest. Circle your knees around from there, mostly to release and relax the back side of the body, to accept the support of the ground underneath your backside. You can keep your knees bent or take your legs up towards the sky and make some circles. Slow, with a sense of feeling. You can go both directions. Think of your legs just massaging your back and your sacrum, backs your hips. And one last moment of glory. Take your legs down. Let them fall to one side in a windshield wiper position. But then instead of just going side to side, fall to one side. And then we're going to lift the legs up and take them to the other side. And then cross them over in a windshield wiper. Lift the legs up all the way into the full circle. Drop them back down. So I'm going to the right now, so I'll feel myself tip onto the pinky toe side of the right foot, big toe side of the left. Draw the legs in. Land on pinky toe side of left, big toe side of right. And then windshield wiper them across. Do one more whichever direction you're going, and then switch it out. Let the legs fall the opposite way. Once they fall, lift them up, draw them in towards the navel center, let your tailbone lift. Maybe your head wants to follow your gaze. Just letting your feet leave the earth. Still sensing the weight of the legs just falling on the exhalation. Inhale them in towards your body. Last circle. And as your feet land to side, you want to keep your knees bent for your relaxation or take your legs out long. And jelly roll them side to side, wherever your hands and arms want to be. I'm going to place my hands on my heart center. That's always the best place for these times of year that are passages. Between the full moon last night and the solstice so near. It's a rite of passage for us, or it can be. I'm thinking of what it is that you've accomplished in this past year. And from those things, what do you want to bring forward with you? What's going to stay in the circle? If we were able to manifest towards the new year in 2023 and knowing the light is so short, but it's about to come back. If our life is a circle, what part of this year do we want to circle back to us in the coming year? Maybe there was even a missed opportunity that was presented to you, and you want that chance again. Ask for it. No regrets. Ask for it.
And also recognizing that as we are soon to start this new circle, what is it that we don't want to bring back into it? And how can we get there with the tools we have? Do these practices sometimes somehow help you, not just on the physical level, but in recognizing your desires, having the discipline to reach for those desires, the determination. Letting go of what doesn't serve us so we have time to receive what is in our best interest. There's only so much room in the circle. These last moments in Shavasana, what can you recognize from this year? The light and the dark. And can you recognize it in a way that helps you to bring you towards the new year, the light coming, with peace, with strength, kindness and love? The patterns that repeat themselves, whether they be just in our mind, or physically, or in any other way. The more we recognize them, the more we have strength to live the ones that we know are for our greatest good and let go of those that aren't. Take a big breath in. Reach your arms, reach your legs. On your breath out, hug your knees in. Draw them in. And make some circles again. Maybe even weeble wobble from side to side a little bit. Until you wobble all the way over to one side of your body. Pausing there. You're taking more time there if you'd like. Pressing up. Thanks for joining me. Check in and see if there's some ritual that you can do for yourself. And we have about 2 weeks till the solstice. Not quite by the time this is released. But that reminder too, as I was so gently reminded, is that within that circle, it's like the moon itself. The moon came out in a glorious way last night and lit up the entire yard. We were in the light. But it'll disappear and we'll go back in the dark, the darkest of the dark. That's part of the circle of life. Peace, joy, love, and light.